Gold Rush exclusive. Parker Schnabel's Sluicifer and Gravity win the heavy tug of war on the next gold rush for Discovery. Parker Schnabel has expanded his crew, and we will watch a very expensive piece of equipment get sucked into the mud. Parker's cumbersome beast Sluicifer plant is being pulled by another piece of equipment. In TV show's exclusive clip, we see Parker still at the promised land as he watches his dirt-moving machinery losing the battle, as it cannot take the weight of the wash plant as it slowly heads into the water. Advising Parker in this preview are Shane Smith with Tyson Lee driving the excavator. Parker has most of his crew divvied up and is at this spot while Sluicifer is busy processing pay. But don't count the other moneymaker Big Red out, as last week they cleared over 300 ounces just from that plant. Mitch and Brennan had to shut their plant Big Red down. The Schnabel crew was just spread too thin. Some new hires and bingo, they were back up in business, closing out last week with over 300 ounces. Parker is clearly scoring the biggest goal this season, and our man Rick Ness was positioned at Duncan Creek on good ground. 2 years of barely breaking even, he needs 70 ounces a week to make it. Rick Ness has been behind the 8 ball for time and cash, so he brought mechanic Carl Rosk back to the fold. They had to move a wash plant across a river that has steep access and lots of questionable maneuvering last week, and it worked out. Ness is still fighting time, as his wash plant must generate more money to pay for all his expenses that are piling up on him. His pay average up until this episode was around 40 ounces of gold. But newcomer Mark Doverspeck seemed like a promising addition to the Ness crew. Hometown pal Cruz is still working out well too. Remember that Rick has to pay Troy Taylor 100 ounces a month as a lease royalty payment. This week will we see his new expensive hopper feeder pay off? He is just above water after paying Troy off and paying out the hopper cost. Last week we saw that the Beets crew were at Paradise Hill, still battling to make a comeback after missing the mark 2 years in a row. Tony is cracking the whip on his kids still, as this season he is shooting for 3,000 ounces. His daughter Monica and sons Kevin and Michael are working overtime. Make sure to tune in to see how this new crew is working with the existing Schnabel crew, and if Parker continues his hot streak with gold yields. He really has the Midas touch this season. Gold Rush airs Friday at 8 p.m. ET/PT on Discovery. In addition to watching the series on Discovery, viewers can check out new episodes each week on Discovery o Gold Rush exclusive. Parker Schnabel's Sluicifer and Gravity win the heavy tug of Warren, the unforgiving wilderness of the Klondike, where every ounce of gold is hard-earned. The battle between man, machine, and nature has never been more intense. This season of Gold Rush has seen the continuation of Parker Schnabel's journey to claim his place at the pinnacle of gold mining. In a world where every step counts, where massive machinery must be coaxed into performing or risk breaking down, Parker's innovations on the claim have been nothing short of groundbreaking. 2 key elements, Sluicifer, his custom-built wash plant, and the unseen force of gravity, have proved to be his secret weapons in the ongoing tug of war with nature and time. This season, Gold Rush fans were treated to a first-hand look at Parker's ambitious operation, as he once again set his sights on maximizing gold production with tools of his own design. Leading the charge was his new and improved Sluicifer, an upgraded version of the powerhouse wash plant that's been the star of his operation for years. However, it was not just the raw power of his equipment that would push him toward success this time. Gravity, as the quiet but ever-present force at play, would prove to be just as important, helping Parker win the heavy tug of war between mining demands and the unpredictable conditions of the land. Sluicifer, a monster of efficiency. If you're a Gold Rush fan, you're no stranger to Parker's penchant for high-performing, custom-built equipment. Over the years, Parker has continually refined his operation, and Sluicifer stands as his crowning achievement. Built to handle the massive amount of material his crew processes on a daily basis, Sluicifer is designed for one thing: getting as much gold out of the ground as humanly possible. At the core of Sluicifer's design is its capacity to handle large amounts of material quickly and efficiently. For Parker, time is as precious as the gold he's after, and that means making sure the equipment keeps running at peak performance. The previous versions of Sluicifer had their kinks, but after several years of tweaking, the plant was finally ready for the challenges that lay ahead. As Parker and his team fed it enormous quantities of dirt, gravel, and silt, the engineering brilliance of Sluicifer lies in its ability to maximize every aspect of its design. A custom-built sluice box, added water jets for better material flow, and a sophisticated water and filtration system allowed it to capture even the finest gold particles. But the real breakthrough came with the plant's advanced recovery systems. These included state-of-the-art vibration tables that ensured that the gold was not only captured, but done so with maximum efficiency. Even as dirt, rocks, and boulders pummeled through the plant, the fine gold particles were held fast, never slipping through the cracks. Parker's crew was in awe of the machine's capacity to handle the heavy load they threw at it, with the numbers on their daily tally sheet rising faster than ever before. The wash plant's ability to work tirelessly without a hitch was a critical asset to Parker's mission of maximizing gold recovery. But no matter how well Sluicifer ran, Parker's operations would always be at the mercy of the environment. Gravity's role in the fight, while Parker's equipment is cutting edge, no machine, no matter how it advanced, can truly conquer the elements alone. If there's one thing Parker has learned from years of mining, it's that nature's greatest challenge isn't just dealing with the physical demands of gold recovery. It's fighting against the weight of the earth itself. Gravity, the unseen but powerful force, is something that Parker has come to rely on to assist his operation, both in obvious and subtle ways. As the foundation of Sluicifer was carefully constructed to take advantage of gravity's pull, the plant's sluice box was designed with an inclination that ensured that gold would be carried to the recovery area. The angle, slight as it might seem to an untrained eye, was precisely measured to balance water flow and gravity's pull, allowing the plant to sift through material with precision. At the same time, gravity also had a hand in making the entire mining process more efficient. When digging into the hills, Parker knew that the deeper they went, the harder it would be to move material from one place to another. That's where gravity stepped in once again. By using slopes and natural gradients, the team could move dirt from the excavation sites to the plant with minimal effort, relying on gravity to do the hard work. This innovation proved invaluable when faced with the weighty and often backbreaking task of hauling tons of rock and dirt to the wash plant. But it wasn't just gravity helping to streamline the mining process. Nature's unrelenting force would become both a savior and an adversary in the same breath. For Parker, the land and its unpredictability are an integral part of the tug-of-war that defines the gold rush. The heavy tug-of-war in the context of gold mining, every day is a battle between men, machines, and the elements. Gold Rush fans are familiar with the setbacks and the triumphs Parker faces as he pushes himself, his team, and his equipment to the limit. And this season's struggle was no different. When it became clear that the previously reliable wash plants were beginning to show signs of wear, Parker knew it was time for an overhaul. The relentless pace of his operation, combined with the tough terrain and difficult weather conditions, had pushed even his seasoned machinery to its limits. Yet, Parker's unwavering determination and inventive spirit were his weapons of choice. But even with Sluicifer running like a dream, Parker faced new obstacles. Mining is always a gamble, and the unpredictable nature of the land meant that some days the team could move tons of dirt with ease, while others were met with boulders that simply wouldn't budge. With each heavy load that the sluice plant could process, there was the constant risk of breakdowns. The tug-of-war was ongoing, with nature constantly reminding Parker and his crew that it had its own way of winning. Yet Parker's ingenuity kept him one step ahead. His constant push to improve his operations, whether through upgrades to Sluicifer or innovations like utilizing gravity to move material more efficiently, was the key to overcoming these challenges. Even when a breakdown occurred or the land resisted, the crew always found a way to adapt, working around the obstacles with a mix of technology and ingenuity. As the season progressed, Parker's efforts began to pay off. The heavy tug-of-war between man, machine, and nature shifted in his favor, as his improved systems and high-performing equipment allowed him to process gold at an unprecedented rate. The numbers on the board told the story, and the crew could finally see the fruits of their labor. Looking toward the future for Parker Schnabel, the journey is far from over. The heavy tug-of-war between man and machine, nature and technology, will continue in the coming years. As he reflects on his progress with Sluicifer, Parker knows that the race for gold is never truly won. There will always be